Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Enough Said podcast. We are in season 5, episode 18. We got a lot going on today. We got the Eagles Dallas review. We got the Miro board. We got some predictions. We got Black Monday. We're going to talk about what teams we like to hate the most. We're going to talk about the playoff picture, of course, and sitting some starters like Saquan Barkley. You saw what happened to Zay Flowers yesterday. So, in the words of Dak Prescott, Dre, here we go. Damn, I think I popped a stitch in my mouth when I did that.
That's not good.
Damn, man.
Hev coming in early. What up, Hev?
What's
What up, F?
Yeah, so, man, yeah, guys, still a little sore, but we'll let you guys probably talk a little bit more today. I know Jermaine will like that, but
not enough. It's not enough. Always gonna hear pure silence.
Oh, well, let me get these intros in before I run out of steam. So we'll start with the guy up top. I love his background. When I came in, it was like the music was playing. All I saw was like, the death thing in the background. You know what Black Monday is, coaches getting fired. But anyway, every week there is a new team that he brings on. That's because his Niners, Steelers, and Bucks are all gone. Say hi to Mike, everybody.
What's up, Mike?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Well,
How's
his
everybody
Bucks
doing? Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Well,
Happy New Year.
His Bucks might still be in, but his Steelers
Bucks
are not
gonna
looking
be in.
good.
Yeah, they're in, but they're out. Unless they find some magic some way. They look like they peaked early.
Yeah. Jermaine, your boy he looked a little slow there. He looked, Russell Wilson didn't look very good. Kind of looked a little.
He's coming back to his old self. That's all,
Yeah. Speaking of him, on the show, when he talks, it always gets him in trouble. And he says, I'm the one who needs a muzzle. Say hi to Jermaine, everybody.
What's up, fellas? What's up?
Happy New Year, brother.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hold up, real quick. I say they didn't bench McCarthy. He tore his ACL.
Yeah,
so
he did.
It just happened. It's one of those Wally Pip. You get hurt. Next guy comes in, take your spot.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there's rumors they're going to trade McCarthy, and they might even trade Pickett. We'll talk about Kenny Pickett. The guy has broken ribs, Jermaine. He's doing the tush push.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a tough guy, man. You got to give it to him, man. The tush push on top of that. Twice.
Yeah, with broken ribs, man.
Right.
God.
Yeah. Yup. You
All
got
right.
it. Yeah, that's old. That's the old football way. But we're gonna talk about that in a minute because I'm kind of upset and pissed off about some stuff. So
There you go. I want to hear that. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, we got one more guy to introduce. When it comes to fantasy football, he does not like to bet, but maybe he's ready to buy that Corvette. What up, man? What up, man?
Yeah, all that money I spent on fantasy, man, I could have had my Corvette by now.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Dre. Yeah. All those donations, you could have had a Corvette plus.
I could have had a Corvette by now.
Probably another one, probably two of them.
So that tells you already I ain't playing fantasy next year.
Man.
Yeah, this is a free league. Yeah, I'm not giving money away.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you guys get your picks in today? Because it's our last week for picks.
Oh, shoot, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I sure forgot. Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Dre gave up 4 weeks ago. So he gave up. He's at 111. I was like, man, what is he doing?
I'm not doing them. I don't care.
That's the NFL messing stuff up of all these crazy scheduled games, man. I mean, it had a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday game in 1 week. Like, man, we ain't ever had nothing like that.
No,
they try to get football every day of the week.
Yeah, Hef's on my back, and I think I'm like 2 ahead of him. So now that I just reminded Hef to do his picks because I don't think he had him. I'll probably lose now that I just reminded Hef to do his picks. But anyway. Last night there was a couple games going on, but let's talk about it because you guys seem to be fired up about this Eagles thing. So Eagles Dallas, it's interesting. This guy Pickett, shout out to Kenny Pickett, man. You got to give him credit, man. I mean, that guy, he toughed it out. I mean, he was throwing bombs, everything, doing tush push with broken rib. I mean, he was hurting, man.
Broken rib.
And he played anyway. So, Jermaine, what's ticking you off, man? What's on your mind, man?
What's ticking me off, and I kind of went in silent mode, and I've been reading your guys' texts and stuff like that. And then, you know how me and Dre are. We brothers at heart.
I meet him halfway. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna meet you halfway.
Yeah. We brothers all the way through. So he called me up Monday evening on my way to work, on my way home from work.
Yeah.
And we're arguing at the top of the fuse. He's like, when I'm coming down to Atlanta and I'm gonna beat your ass. And I was like, you come there. I said, no, I don't want you to come all the way down to Atlanta. Like, I'll meet you halfway, because when I whip your ass, I don't want you to say, well, I was tired, Jermaine. No, we're gonna meet halfway.
Wow.
The biggest
thing he has a good point, so go ahead.
We was talking about the Saquon Barkley thing, man. You know what I mean? And he's like, you should sit him. I said, no, you shouldn't sit him. Basically what the deal is that you're 101 yards away from breaking the record. Okay. My thing is that it should have been up to Saquon. And Saquon wanted to do it. He said it didn't really matter to me, but now, sleeping on it and waking up, my family wanted to do it. You're 101 yards away. All right. Then why, if you didn't want him to do it, then why did you run him when the game was over 41-7? You ran him 31 times. What was the purpose of that? My thing is, you were setting everything up. To me, when I saw that game, I said, oh, they're setting everything up. This is going to be the perfect thing as far as going, he'll break the record against his old team. Now this, I mean, come on. It's just, that's just my situation. I mean, the man wants to do it. Now you're talking about rest. Look, I can I could take over this show the whole time, man. It's just like, oh, well, Lane Johnson, I need the rest. Y'all getting paid all these millions of dollars. You rest after you Super Bowl. You rest after you win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Now you got a whole bunch of problems. You know what I mean? Now you got this Jalen problem. Jalen's a problem. I'm going to tell you right now, just like how we was torching him in the beginning of the season when he's throwing picks, when he's throwing turnovers, now he's been going for 3 to 4 weeks. 3 games now? Now he's missing 3 games? And whatnot, because I guess the concussion, I don't know if he's still in concussion protocol or whatever, but he's not playing. Now you go into next week playing against Green Bay or the Commanders or whatnot, he's going to be rusty. He's going to go back to his old self again. You know what I mean? It's going to take him some time and whatnot. So my thing is, I think they're doing it all about the wrong way. That's just my opinion. I'm kind of upset about that, because if you go back to the Patriots was going for that undefeated season, and what? Tom Brady was going for that 50 touchdown, and Randy Moss, they played. They played at the last game of the season, and they broke the record. Come on. You know what I mean? Enough is enough, man. I don't want to hear that, oh, I need rest. You get rest at the end of the season and the all season. That's when you get your rest. Come on, man. That's just play. That's play. Because injuries is going to happen regardless. It's going to happen. It could happen next week. Saquon can get the first carry of the game and pull his groin or you know what I mean? Or pull a hamstring or something like that. It's going to happen. Risk is going to be a risk. That's all. You know what I mean? And he wanted the record. You should have gave him the record. I don't care about the 2,000 because he's the ninth player. He's not the first player to do it. He's the ninth player to do it. I mean, that's nothing, man. Look, if I'm playing against y'all, I'm playing against y'all. I want to be on top. I want to be on top. I want to be that number one man. I don't want to be mixed in with a whole bunch of other people and whatnot. That's just how I feel. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. And that goes for all sports. All sports is starting to be a hoax, a fraud. You know what I mean? This low management. LeBron James, Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? All those guys, man. And then, going back with the basketball thing, did you see that game? Did you hear about that game when they shot 96 three-pointers?
I don't watch NBA. I don't watch NBA no more.
No, I'm talking about not as a team, but 2 teams combined. You shot 96 three-pointers. What kind of crap is that? It's a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS. And I'm sick of it. Everybody wants to sit up here. Oh, well, you know what? My foot hurts. I'm going to take the night off, LeBron. And B just trips over his. I got to face it. Joe Embiid. I mean, it's just, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. These guys are getting paid all these millions of dollars. You got kids that wants to see. You know what I mean? Their star players see that. I got my sons, and I push my sons to the max. I'm not saying they're the greatest players, basketball, football, and Chris comes to me. It's like, well, Dad, we got 3 games left in the basketball season. Can I take one of those games off? I'm like, well, where you get this from? What? What are you talking about? No, you're not doing it. You're not injured. You're not hurt. You know what I mean? You're teaching these kids the wrong thing, the ones that they look up to. You know what I mean? The stars that they look up to. I mean, just like basketball, I'm trying to teach them it's a team effort. Here they go because they want to be like Steph, LeBron, and all that stuff and whatnot, shooting threes. Come on, man. Come on, you got 4 other players and whatnot, and that's what aggravates me. And I blame them. I blame sports. Period. I blame them. That's how that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I'm pissed. I'm pissed at a whole bunch of crap. And that's all I have to say with that. You know what I mean? Let's Saquon play. Let him play. Let him play. I don't care what nobody says. I mean,
go ahead, Dre. I'll let you.
No, I want Mike. Mike was going to say
Mike,
something.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say, I think Saquon, they should have gone for the record. But, I can't see the coaching side of it. And then also to your point about Jalen being rusty, if you are concerned about Jalen not being himself, then you probably do want to have a perfectly rested Saquon to carry the load because he probably is going to have to carry the load if Jalen's not going to be the answer on offense. So, I guess you do have to strategize and think ahead. And I think the other part of it is that, I didn't realize Saquon wanted the record. I thought that he had a say in it and that, it was all kind of agreed that they weren't going to do it. But, it's not just him. There's 10 other people on offense and there's 11 other people on defense. And for him to get the record, all of them have to kind of all be on the same page that we're doing this to get him the record. So, you got to have the offensive line ready to go. You got to have A.J. Brown. Everyone's got to be blocking. Everyone's got to have their mindset. And then the defense has got to, of course, give the offense every opportunity to give Saquon the ball so they can, hurry up and get the record. And you're all going against the team that, cut him loose and did him wrong and all that kind of stuff. And they have extra motivation not to have history made on them. So they're going to try their damnedest to make sure he don't get the record as well. So there's a lot of risk for injury, not just on Saquon's part, but, if you did lose a Lane Johnson or if you did lose, someone from the offensive line, or if you lost an A.J. Brown on some kind of stupid play where he's blocking or something like that. So there's a lot of other factors that do go into it. So I can see why they didn't do it. But, yeah, it'd been nice, but, and then, of course, when it comes to money, he don't get no money for setting the record. It's in the history books,
but that's just, see, Mike, you have a legitimate excuse with your team, San Francisco 49ers, right? You guys got what, 5 Super Bowls, 4 Super Bowls? You know what I mean? Versus our 1. It's not guaranteed what's going to happen. Oh, we're sitting over, and we got bigger fish to fry. You know what I mean, for the Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not guaranteed now. Because what I'm saying is with Jalen going in here, like I'm saying, acting rusty, he's going to be rusty because just like how he was, it took him 3 to 4 weeks to figure in the beginning of the season to figure the stuff out. You know what I mean? Then he started getting a rhythm. It's going to be like that before. Yes, you got to rest Saquon. I get it. But you know what? If defensive coordinators are looking at that, it's like, you know what? Jalen has been out for about 3 weeks now. All right, about 3 games or whatever. Let's load the box up and make Jalen beat us. And you know what's going to happen? I guarantee you next week it's going to be at least 2 turnovers from that clown and whatnot for what's happening. We're going back, right back to freaking square one. Square one, that's where we're going back. And then all of a sudden we kind of took the foot off the pedal when, Jalen looked like he's getting himself together. Jalen looked like then he gets hurt. I don't even think that was a damn concussion. I don't even think he really hit his head hard on the damn turf. Yeah. What is this, man? This is crazy, Mike.
The last time he went to the Super Bowl, didn't he miss 3 games? He had to come back in that last game because y'all almost lost home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
He
missed time. That was He had to come back to play against Dallas, I think, that year. But he missed 3 games. Minshew came in, he lost 2. So I mean, he's missed time before, and then he came back in the playoffs and seemed like he was fine. You can't
I know.
Predict that kind of stuff.
It's a balance. You can't. So that's why you play Saquon.
And Saquon can get the record, and then y'all lose, and then it's kind of like, well, yeah, Saquon got the record, but we didn't get the Super Bowl, so this is all for nothing. I mean, that's how it seemed like we see CMC getting Offensive Player of the Year last year. I mean, as great as it was, it meant kind of nothing. They didn't win a Super Bowl.
Thing.
It's just, I mean, that like I said, it's a risk and reward. You know what I mean? You play the game, you play the sport. You're bound to get injury, walking off the bus and tripping over something and whatnot and get hurt. I mean, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. That's all.
Yeah.
If he wants to play, he was upset. I mean, if you listen to the radio station that he was saying, Saquon usually is upbeat, but this man was just down and out when he was told that he couldn't do it. You couldn't do it, and that's the thing. That's the shame.
Again, I'd be curious to see what the rest of the team feels about it. Because I mean, if the team really, like the Patriots, when they wanted to win undefeated, it was like Brady, it was Brewski, it was like everybody on that team was like Rob Moss. Everybody said, "No, we want to do this as a unit." I don't know what the team felt with Saquon getting the record. I mean,
they wanted him to sit. They wanted
to sit.
All of them wanted him to sit.
You have to read the room. I mean, if your teammates are like, dude, I ain't going out there. I mean, you got to have everybody wanting to do this for you. And if they're not on board.
Number one thing is to win the Super Bowl. Saquon gets nothing out of getting the record.
I get it. But do you think Jalen's an issue right now? I see what Mike is saying. Jalen's an issue. Jalen's going to be an issue.
But I think that's what right now. But I mean, Jalen seems like an issue. But I mean.
And then you get some clown on the Giants on a cold day taking out his knees because they want revenge that he left the team.
I get it. So what's going to happen when you play Green Bay? Green Bay's going to come out with revenge. You almost took Jordan Love out the first
That's
game.
That's fine. It's playoffs. You go for it.
Yeah, it's playoffs. Now you're done. Now you're going to say there is a value.
I also heard some Eagles Eagle fans' opinions said you should have played him more during the regular season.
That's right.
You should have. You would have.
So one fan said
the game will.
One fan says, "Shut up, shut up, and let them." You should have played him more. They didn't play him more.
Yeah, they played game well. I don't understand that.
So it's I'm on both. After I had my conversation with Jermaine, I was on both sides of the fence. I was like, I see what Jermaine's saying. I see what Saquon. I see what the Eagles are saying.
Yeah.
So great. So you have with Zay Flowers yesterday, and now he's out in the playoffs. Yeah. So you want to do what you have with Zay Flowers?
That wasn't a meaningless game, because I mean Baltimore had to win to lock up the division, so you had to play him.
But but it's the same idea, and I think
it's always going to happen just because it's the playoffs and
not
they
if
have to lock it up. Yeah, but what I'm saying is you go in the playoffs, so you're all right. If one of Jalen or Saquon or AJ Brown gets hurt, you're going to be all right, and then you get bounced out of the first round of the playoffs.
I'd rather than be all right for a playoff game than get hurt.
But you're talking about aiming for the Super Bowl, though.
Hold on. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Hold on. The 2017 run, what happened? We thought Carson was the guy.
Yep.
Carson goes out. We said, "Oh, that's it. Eagles are done." Here comes this guy named who is it? Come on, we know the quarterback. Nick Foles. Yeah. And Nick Foles carried us to the championship and won. So we don't know what the outcome is going to be, honestly.
I don't know. Kenny Pickett is not Nick Foles.
No, you're right. You're right about that. But what I'm just saying is just like we had this conversation before when we said Carson's out. That's it. We're done. We're not going to win. Vikings are going to kick. Well, Rams, whoever we had play first. I think it was Rams first, then the Vikings. We're done. It's over.
I think this is the best chance because if you look at it, I feel as though this team right here is better than the 2017 team. Yeah, they're more balanced on both sides. But what the other thing that I'm afraid of is that the defense is leaking on that side. I mean, what was it, Dow? You know what I mean? Had over 100 yards and whatnot. And then before that, Jaden Daniels had over 80. That's another thing that concerns me. It was like, oh, okay, well, if we're sputting on offense, we'll just rely on defense. Oh, no, let's just hold our brakes now because if we play one of these two teams and we're leaking like that as far as rushing, so this is what I'm talking about. It's a problem. I think it's a problem.
Yeah, and one other point, and we can move on, is that this is starting to become a trend with Jalen Hurts with this mystery injury. Like,
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I mean, the protocol for to me, a mild concussion should have been only 1 week, 2 week. It seemed like the man is more than it's.
You're right.
I listen. I always told you about Jalen. He's weird to me, and I just don't get him. So he has his moments where he looks great, then he has his moments where he's just, I hate to say, he can't play.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know if it's his confidence level after he got hurt, and he don't, because he always has that same nonchalant demeanor. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the Eagles got one of the toughest. Like I said, the 2 seed is one of the worst positions to be in because you seem to always get the toughest competition, and it looks like right out the gate they're going to get a tough game to start with. So I mean, it'll be a 2 test of your mettle and all that kind of stuff, as they say. So I mean, if they get to the Super Bowl, they certainly will have earned it. Because they're going to play some tough teams. But I hear what you're saying, Jermaine. I mean, every team's got your flaws, every team's got their weaknesses. You just have to see what happens, I mean, honestly, I know you're saying this team seems better than the team from the other 2 years ago, but that team from 2 years ago had really one of the best paths to get to the Super Bowl, and they really weren't better than the Chiefs. They were the best team, I thought. They just, the refs worked them over. Yeah. But, it's NFL. Anything can happen, right?
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Doesn't matter because the refs are going to give it to the Chiefs anyway. So
this is
that's right. They have NBA. They have NBA refs.
Setup, right?
In the end, it's not going to mean a damn thing. All right.
This is all a setup, right?
Dre, let's bring up our Miro board here.
And I see what Hef is saying about the Rams, and all I gotta say to that is, look, they got hot, but you know what? Our whole division sucks. I mean, they're like 9, they're like 8 wins. I mean, this is the worst division. Them in the South shouldn't even be in the playoffs. They should need to earn a home game. It's so wrong that you got. I still say pretender.
Now he's just salty because of the Niners.
No, they're pretending.
You're right.
I agree. I mean, unless Stafford gets hot, on fire, they're not gonna be in the playoffs long. They're gonna lose in the first round. Oh, come on.
Move Tampa Bay to contender. You got to move Tampa Bay.
No, I'm not moving Tampa Bay up unless you move LA up.
Are you serious?
No way.
No, man. Tampa Bay
is way better than LA.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield's on fire.
Tampa
I don't know
in the MVP race, Sal.
No way. Bucks aren't going.
I want to move them up to contender, but I need to see them in the playoffs first. I'll move them in next week if they secure the division.
Both those divisions are not great. But I would say Tampa Bay's division is better than than the Rams division. Why do we
still have the Broncos and the Pretenders?
Steelers are done.
That's where we left them off.
The Steelers, you got to say Pretenders so far. I mean, they're not done yet, but
Yeah, they are. They're done, man.
If they play the Texans, they got a chance. If they go on back to Baltimore, I might as well forget about it.
I don't know, man. They just seem like
they can beat the Texans. They can beat the Texans, I think. Texans are frauds too. They're about the same.
I hate to say it, man. My second favorite team, they're frauds.
Oh, Houston.
They fell apart.
So, guys, are we ready to do this or no?
Yeah, I put Vikings up there.
Man. Yeah, especially they win tonight.
They win tonight. Yeah, number 1 seed.
And then you got to move the Lions down.
What about Baltimore? Does Baltimore go?
Oh yeah, Baltimore moves up too.
Yeah, Baltimore. Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it.
Baltimore.
So between what's going to happen tonight between Minnesota and Detroit, if Detroit loses, you got to put them down to contenders. And I don't think they're cream of the crop anymore.
Okay. I agree with that.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah. I think this is what's going to be.
I think it's what it's going to be too.
I don't see any other changes. Depending on how they go, depending on how Tampa looks going into the playoffs, they could be contenders. But they
got to be contenders now, man.
I like them. I like them, but they still have these moments, especially on defense, where I'm just like, this is supposed to be Todd Bowles. Defense is supposed to be their specialty, and they just give up, some dumb plays.
I thought when Godwin went down, I thought that was it. I mean, but Mike Evans is holding that team together, him and Baker,
Yeah. But when When they start playing some tougher teams, so the Buccaneers right now, most of their wins are against teams with losing records. So let's not get too excited. Yeah.
So let me ask you guys a question. In the contenders out of those four, who do you think is the hottest cream of the crop? I guess out of those four. No, between Green Bay, Chargers,
LA.
Bengals,
I think the Chargers.
LA, yep, LA.
Well,
I agree.
I'm stuck between Green
Bengals
Bay
right now is hot. Bengals are hot
Green
right
Bay
now.
Green Bay and Washington. I don't know. I mean,
Washington. They talking about. You heard what the rumors were. They was talking about putting Jaden Daniels in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, get out of here! Wow.
If he didn't hurt his ribs, if he didn't get his ribs hurt during the middle of the season, he probably. I will agree with that. He probably would have been up there as far as MVP conversation.
Yeah, he would have been.
What about Joe Burrow?
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, Joe Burrow too.
He's breaking records left and
Burrow,
right.
Yeah, a lot of people. They say a lot of people in the league pick him as the MVP.
Where
he's having a great year. It's just the defense stunk. But then also they always start slow. This is always their thing. Right now. Yeah, you might as well just put them above.
Well, Hef said Green
Untouchable.
Bay.
Untouchable is Kansas City.
Then he said Commanders can beat. Let me put this up. He said
Commanders can beat.
Oops, my mouse.
Commanders can beat San Diego and beat
Commanders
Cincinnati.
can beat San Diego and beat Cincinnati.
Jaden Daniels is going to be the man. Man, he's in our division. He's going to be something to reckon with, man. Honestly. Wow.
I mean, the things. I guess is a segue into, like I said, I'm gonna mess with Hef. Like, I really don't want to see Washington.
I don't want to. Yeah.
I don't want to see Washington, but I think we could. They're on a hype train right now. So
Dre, we couldn't stop him the last time. I mean, this man had 127 yards rushing against Atlanta, and then he had 92 yards rushing.
The last meeting, we got torched by him.
Man,
I'm really
Lamar is MVP. So I'm just saying that we got to put Washington in their place.
I'm really gonna take off. I'm really gonna take off half when I say this. So,
oh boy,
Daniels is RG3. I'm sorry. The first time he gets hurt, he's not going to be able to run.
I can see that. He's
not going to be able to rely on his throwing
because he looked like he's reckless on some of those plays.
Yep.
Some of those runs. He looked like he's a little reckless.
We've seen this before. They show the clips, and everybody was all excited about RG3 the first year. He was an MVP. He was running, getting 100 yards a game. Everybody was all excited, and then he took a couple of hits because he was taking, like you said, a little bit reckless. And then I think Daniels has the talent. Can he stay healthy? As long as he's able to run, but the minute he blows out a knee or he takes a hit and gets an injury and he can't run anymore, you take his game away.
So he's one read, read, and then he's gone.
Yep.
He don't do his progression.
Thank you, Jermaine.
He is a rookie too. So I mean, he still has to learn. Hopefully they can keep Kingsbury around so he can get another year in. Because they already talking about Kingsbury's interested in coaching, some team, with all the openings and everything. But I mean, there are similarities in RG3. I mean, Shanahan, when they had RG3, they kind of crafted the offense around his abilities to get the most out of him. And Jaden Daniels has taken some pretty good shots. I mean, I think he's been a little bit smarter than RG3 in some instances. And of course, his head, I don't think is as big. But we've seen this before with, the rookies come in, they get into a good system and they had that good first year. And then the second year,
tape is out.
Stroud, and then all of a sudden, it gets a little tougher and then you start to really see what they're made of. I mean, I think he's still the best quarterback for them. They could win a playoff game if they'd be good for the city, good for this area. I don't see Super Bowl, but it is possible. But, I mean, look. It's the Chiefs, the Chiefs will beat them. I'll say that,
Buffalo will beat them, I think, either one. So I think Buffalo gets ahead of them.
I mean, their defense still is not strong, I mean, they gave up some big, even in the Eagles game, they gave up some big plays, and I think if Jalen didn't get hurt, that might have been a different game too. So, I mean, but I still want to see them play Washington. I think that's going to be one of the best matchups to see in the playoffs, just to see who's after the tiebreaker, that's the big the rubber match. I'd love to see that. I think that would be great football.
Yeah, McLaurin did. He's heading for that franchise record. Say McLaurin, they need to get help for him. I mean, he is the one guy. He's small though. He takes the beating.
Johnson back.
Yeah, God, what a waste that was.
You gotta say that's the quarterback. When Daniels came in, McLaurin started going off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're talking about they're the best 1-2 punch in the league. I'm like, really? I didn't know that. I was reading somewhere about that. I'm like, wow, okay.
Jermaine, did Howie get it wrong with Dotson, Jermaine?
Huh?
Did Howie get it wrong with Dotson?
Look, man, and you know what they're saying too. Guess who's going to be the executive GM of the year again?
Howie.
I'm thinking about you, Sam, when I heard that. He's got to be back in the running. Man. Come on.
Honestly, Adam Peters with Washington should be, because, I mean, to have a wholesale franchise turnover,
that's true.
Not just change your coach, not just change your quarterback, change your GM, change your owner, change everything, and then to go into the playoffs in that first year. I mean, I feel like Adam Peters, and if Hef was killing him, I remember Hef was killing him. He was like, why do we got all that Zach Ertz? Why do we got this guy? Why do we got that guy? All of a sudden, you see all these guys contributing. You're like, all right, I see why they got these guys. They were a good mix, a good balance for, turning the team around. No, they're not the most talented, and they can now afford to get more talent. And now they got people who will want to come there to play around that talent. So I'd say Adam Peters is probably going to be GM of the year, I think.
Magic Johnson. So, he's the owner of the year.
Yeah. Part owner technically is your boy, right? Yeah.
Whole bunch of pieces of pie every year.
I don't understand that. You write down how do you get part owner of a Redskins in Washington and you the owner? That's just man.
Miami did the same thing.
Yeah.
Miami got Serena and all that.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, sports world.
Jay-Z somewhere else. Somebody.
Jay-Z.
Yeah. We were talking about KC, and it's a good transition, guys.
Okay.
I know you wanted to talk about teams to hate.
Okay.
Let's talk about two things. Number one, is there a team that's going to surprise you, the sleeper in the playoffs? And number two, which team do you really hate that you don't want to see get it, this year? So surprise team and team you really hate. Let's start with Dre. What do you think, Dre?
AFC side and NFC, right?
Either one. Doesn't matter. Just one in general. It doesn't have to be one for each side.
Ravens.
You hate them, or you think they're going to win?
Dre's a love-hate. You'll love him one week, and then he's gonna love-hate. He's got a love-hate passion.
This just frustrates me because, Lamar's legit. I mean, Lamar is legit. But just next week. Matter of fact, last night, Hef put up on his thing saying, I hate the way he throws the ball. And I agree with you, Hef. Lamar has the ugliest way of throwing. It goes all the way back to Leftwich, where he scraped his knuckles down on the ground. But I'm not saying that's not how. I'm not saying that's how Lamar throws. I'm just saying it's ugly. Even go back, Phillip Rivers, how his hand was on top and the way.
That was just how is he getting?
But the team I hate the most, it probably would be the Ravens. Honestly, I just everybody's just putting them up there on the coattails. They're not really that good. I mean. They have to prove to me, just like last season, they got bounced out of the first round after their bye. You better not get bounced out this time because you got to prove a point, Ravens, that you got Derrick Henry now. You have no excuse for losing. So you have to win. If you don't, then I hate y'all for being in the playoffs.
But see, that's the same thing with Philadelphia. Sal's like they better win. You know what? They better win this Super Bowl. They better win this Super Bowl. Or at least get there. You know what I mean? I'm happy for them. At least get there. But don't sit up here and get bounced the first and second round. Because the rumor was with Philly as well is that if Philly gets bounced out, the rumor was that Nick might be getting fired, especially the first round.
Wow.
I hate them too, Dre.
And then Mike is loving it. Mike's like, man, well, that's why.
Eagles, I think
it can very well happen.
They
too.
both the hardball.
Yeah.
Hate the Chargers.
Yeah. Dre, who's your sleeper team?
Sleeper team. Ooh. Green Bay.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Sleeper team.
Well, I'm actually juggling between Green Bay and the Bengals. Honestly,
if the Bengals get in,
I think if the Bengals can get in, they're dangerous.
They need Miami to lose and Denver to lose to get in, and then they're
I don't see Denver losing.
But Green Bay to me has that. They have it too, though, because the running back that was from the Las Vegas. I'm sorry, the Las Vegas Raiders. Jacobs is rejuvenated, like there's a like your Henrys and your Barkleys, man. So and then Love can still put a seriously hurt on teams by dicing them up in the air and the RPO. I mean, he's not the greatest RPO runner, but he can throw. I can see Green Bay being a scary, scary team.
And it looks like that's what we're playing next week.
I know.
Yeah.
What did I tell you about that defense? That defense is leaking with that Russian defense. That's
tough out the gate. Yeah, tough matchup out the gate, right?
Exactly.
Well, Zaire Alexander's out for the season. Is that Green Bay? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, that's Green Bay.
That's Green Bay.
He's out.
I don't think he did anything all season either. So.
I think we was trying to get him. I think at one point we was trying to get him.
I think he played like 1-2 games, maybe.
Yeah. And I will say the Eagles they just activated. We'll see how he does today. Dallas Goedert, and there's rumors that he's going to sign Zeke Elliott, Jermaine. Zeke Elliott. The Eagles can sign
why?
I saw that. So is that what? Is that a rumor or is it
a rumor? I don't think it's a rumor.
I can't stand to use them.
Don't sign him.
Yeah,
I mean, let him just stay in his little Salvation Army thing. And
and just put the lid over him. That's cool.
Yeah,
he's cool.
Mike, team you love to hate, your sleeper team. What do you got?
Man, I'll be honest. It's hard for me to have a team to hate. I mean, it's like there's aspects of different teams. Like I like you guys. I just don't like Sirianni. So it's like you always want to hate them just because of the coach. But I feel that way about Detroit too. Dan Campbell. I guess if I have a team to hate, it's going to be the Lions, man. Just because, and I feel like the city deserves the Super Bowl. I mean, I know they've been bad forever and all that kind of stuff, but there's something about that swag, something about them going forward for fourth down like 4 times in a row against my team last week that I just said, you know what? Screw you, man. You don't have to do that. It's a field goal, man. Give us a chance. He's like, nah, I'm gonna go for it on 4th and like 20, and we're gonna make it because I believe we're gonna make it. And it's like so much overconfidence with that team and that guy that you just kind of like, you know what, go sit down. So I guess the Lions are the team that I don't want to see get it. And then I think for a sleeper, maybe the Chargers, man.
All right.
Surprisingly, the Harbaughs, what's his name out there, Justin Herbert, man. I mean, to have no receivers and still somehow be in the playoffs and be a threat. I mean, that's a pretty impressive job out there.
Don't disrespect McConkey, man. He's
Yeah. I mean, have the other receiver, Quentin Johnston, the dude who always drops every pass, and they got your boy out there. I think he might be hurt. Rager, he's out there too, and somebody winning games.
Dobbins is back.
Yeah.
I thought you would say the Eagles just because of C.J. Gardner-Johnson, man. I thought you would say. Or Big Dom, one of the two.
Big Dom.
I'm right with Big Dom. He's a celebrity. CJ I can't stand. Like I said, there are aspects of your team I can't stand. CJ, of course, and of course, Nick, just because he talks so much trash too. But yeah, man, you guys, I'd be okay if the Eagles got a Super Bowl. I'm sure you guys are gloat, but I could be okay to see that.
And Hef's not seeing ghosts, or Hef is seeing ghosts. He doesn't like Detroit. He thinks Minnesota's going to get it. Sam, damn Darnold, man. Come on, Jermaine. Let's get it up for Darnold.
Yeah, I'm giving it up. I am. I'm definitely giving it up for that team.
I didn't see it, but I guess
really
they
impressed.
passed him. I guess they were passing them around in the locker room. I heard when
he came in, they doused him with all the Gatorade and stuff, bottles of water. Then they were like, he's our hero. I mean,
man,
is he considered comeback player of the year?
That's what I picked him to be comeback player.
I mean, what do you think?
I think so. I mean, that's a pure Geno Smith turnaround.
What do you think Kirk Cousins' expression would be to see that? You know what I'm saying?
Kirk ain't thinking about nothing but the money.
I know the money.
Money that he got. Man, he don't care. That's what I said. Yeah, you like that?
Yeah. Well, there's rumors that either Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins are going to go to Tennessee. Tennessee. Yeah, they're going to go to one of the two.
Talk about Aaron Rodgers.
I'm so tired.
I don't want to hear Aaron
That's
Rodgers.
the rumor.
Just go away. You know?
Yeah, teams you love to hate. That's one, but they're not a playoff team.
Yeah,
so
they're not a playoff team.
All right, what's yours, Jermaine? Your
my sleeper team, man. I don't know. My sleeper team is the Buccaneers. I'm thinking.
Come on, man.
I'm not. No, when I clowned Mike a couple weeks ago, when I clowned him, I was like, look, man. Who's a running back named Bucky Irving? I was like, come on, man. You know what I mean? And then you got Todd Bowles making those faces in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then you got Baker Mayfield. I just, So yeah, that's my sleeper team. And then of course it's Kansas City. I'm tired of Kansas City. I'm tired. I'm so sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say
because 8 out of the 17 games or 8 out of the 16 games, they won by luck. Either the refs or some. And I'm tired of Patrick Mahomes. And that's my love-hate guy right there. You know what I mean? He's always whining every time he gets hit. You know what I mean? And the whining, he sounds like, come on, ref. Get up and just play the game, man. Stop.
Man.
Yeah, I know. He's on fire.
He's on fire.
So Jermaine, you're saying you're like Dre. You don't like the way Mahomes throws the ball. No, it's more just like Dre don't like the way Lamar throws the ball.
No, when he be sitting up here and he's doing, he's doing this.
I just said this.
Huddle. I'm like, man, what are you doing? I can't stand his voice. Well, the ref didn't even give me he hit me in my face. Max Crosby hit me and I told him that wasn't the stop.
Oh my God. He's on the road today.
I'm so tired. I'm done.
You have to say you hate Kansas City, but they also make history as the only team.
I know.
To do 3 in a row.
It's like you hate them like you hate the Patriots. You know, you respect
I
hated
the Patriots.
That they're great. You know, it's like watching Jordan. You know,
I hated Michael Jordan during that time.
That's what I'm saying.
I hated Kobe.
Yeah, no, I didn't hate Kobe. I just didn't like Michael. I couldn't stand him.
I'm just saying how good they were. You know what I mean?
What the hell? Oh, that's what was behind him.
He's got the Black Monday with the Grim Reaper. That's pretty cool.
Let me ask Jermaine and Dre. Speaking of that, Jermaine and Dre, do you hate Big Red too? Or are you happy for Andy Reid?
I'm happy. I'm happy.
No, I'm happy for Andy Reid.
I just can't.
A year ago, remember I said, he ain't the coach of the year or whatever.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. No, he I gotta give it to him.
He's got a good thing. I mean, they got a good thing there. It took a while to build it, but
I will say that the rumor is Kansas City could not get out of Kansas City because of the snow. They shut down the airport. They were having a rough time getting the flight off. We're getting that tonight. It is going to be interesting. They shut down everything. So who knows if Kansas City snow?
We're getting a snowstorm. We're getting like a half a foot here.
Yeah.
Half a foot, really?
Yeah.
Which is like nothing, but around here people go to the supermarket, buy everything. Like
it cleans,
for a week.
New York's getting like a couple feet. Like there's some Buffalo and all. They're getting crushed, man.
And real fast,
Buffalo always gets that lake effect snow.
And talk about real fast. We move Buffalo guys. We didn't say like they're number 2 seed right in the AFC.
Yep.
Can Buffalo do it?
That was going to be my sleeper team, Dre. You just
sorry, Sal. I apologize. I'm sorry, Sal.
No, you didn't know. It's all good, man. No, I mean, Buffalo was going to be my sleeper team, man. Okay. I mean, I think they got a legitimate shot. I would say it was tough because I like your Green Bay too, Dre. I like Green Bay too. I don't want to see the Eagles play Green Bay, but I think Buffalo could be a sleeper team because you never know what he's going to do. You never know what Josh Allen's going to do, man. And they got Cook. He's pretty good. And who's the wide receiver? Cooper?
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, they got Cooper now. So
they got a young wide receiver named Coleman, I think.
Kevin Coleman. If that defense holds up, they could be dangerous. But I also like the Bengals, but let's see if they get in. I think they're come
up short.
Team I hate. Sorry, have Washington. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. So I think Washington's got some work to do. I think
I can see that.
I think they'll be good, I'm not saying they're not going to be good, and I'm not saying they didn't make strides this year, but I just don't think they're ready yet. And so we'll see what happens in Washington.
I don't hate watching it, but also I don't want to see them win the Super Bowl because I just can't see. It just don't seem right for a team to overnight change everything and so they go win it all. It's like it's a copycat league. So the minute people see that, the next thing is going to be like, oh, we need to fire the GM, change the ownership, change everything, and we'll go to Super Bowl next year. And everyone will follow suit. So I don't want to see that happen because I know it's going to be a copycat. Everyone's going to think that's the path to success.
But Dre, to your point, do you think Buffalo is going to give KC a problem? Is that why you were talking about that?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, who can knock them off? Remember what I said last week, man? I was convinced nobody could beat Kansas City. Nobody. Yeah. But can Buffalo do it? I mean,
they already did it once.
They beat them once, right?
Yeah, that's their only loss. That's only Kansas City's loss.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They can
do it. Buffalo do it. I would like to see Buffalo win.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Baltimore can do it if Baltimore gets there. I think because Baltimore came up short.
Y'all
and Kansas City kept running. Kansas City kept running their mouth and whatnot. I think Baltimore can do it. They put up a good fight in game one this season. So.
No, they did. I mean, they only lost because of the dude was like half an inch in the white, right? When he caught the ball.
How will Baltimore's
like that close?
Yeah. But how
coming down?
But can Baltimore's defense hold against better teams? I don't know that they can.
Well, Kansas City's not really a better team. I mean, what are you talking about?
Better offenses. Oh, Kansas City's a better offense than some of the teams that Baltimore's been playing. Baltimore just played Cleveland.
Huh?
I mean, come on.
So, in the last 3 games, Baltimore's secondary has tightened up. They have.
We'll see.
And it could have been by the worst teams they were playing, but
and now Zay Flowers is out.
I know Zay Flowers is out, but I'm talking about Baltimore has been struggling all season with their secondary. Plain and simple.
Well, let's see.
Lamar just got to keep it up, and keep the defense from not. He has to keep scoring. And Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Lamar has to have an MVP kind of game when he plays the Chiefs. That's really what hasn't happened. It's like he's been like the league MVP, but he hasn't been an MVP when he needed to be MVP.
But y'all keep talking about Lamar. You got to get you got to put Derrick Henry. It's got to go around Henry. Henry's going to get you the game. Derrick Henry's going to have to get you the game. If he busts one for like a good 25, 30 yards, you know what I mean? Everybody's talking about Lamar. Lamar, don't put it on Lamar. Lamar can't do it by himself. You gotta have it. That's all I'm saying.
I agree, Brad. I think at some point, that is kind of what has to happen, though. I mean, I think he doesn't have to do everything, but I think he still has to be really good. Like, I think he's got to be elite, almost like Josh Allen. I think just has his moments where he's like, all right, and Mahomes does it too. Sometimes you just got to kind of take over. It's just one of those things that I think is just going to be needed for them to beat the Chiefs. I think that's the gear that they haven't hit yet. Is like Lamar in that playoff game last year, when he was throwing the ball a bunch and everything, and was missing guys and all kinds of drama. It was just like, what's wrong with this pitcher today? I mean, but he didn't run. That was the game where it was like, oh, he needs to run, and he's like, I'm not running today. And it's like, no, this is the game you just gotta just be yourself and just do whatever it takes. Just put aside whatever feelings you got, just go ball, and that's what he hasn't done yet.
There's a reason why he lost all that weight, because I almost thought he looked like a crackhead when he lost all that weight and whatnot. You know what I mean? So there's a reason. Maybe
I'm leaving
for this game.
I'm leaving this comment up here and not this season.
No, come on, man. Yeah, come on.
No, he has thrown more interceptions than he ever had.
Bag in the league,
and everything has been. He's been pretty lucky. I'm gonna have to say, damn Arnold's better than daggone Patrick Mahomes right now. You gotta say. I'm talking about this season. Patrick Mahomes is not the best quarterback in the planet. Sorry.
So if Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, is
not
Tom
this
Brady?
season. Come on, Mike. No.
Yeah, he's a bum.
No. I'm sorry, man.
I'm talking about this season.
Yeah, but one thing.
What has he done this season?
Yeah, statistically, what he's done is, if you look at his performance, especially on 3rd and 4th down, he's been one of the best quarterbacks when it comes to that. It's just the moments. He hasn't been like lights out like some of these other guys, but when the moment needs somebody, that dude is there. You know, and that's the difference with this guy. It's like
it's actually golf. All the fourth downs they go for, they lead the best in fourth down conversions than Patrick Mahomes.
They go for it a lot.
Golf is because of his coach going for it all the time.
Still, Mahomes, I'm telling you,
go ahead and
you'll see it in the playoffs. You'll see it in the playoffs. Go ahead, where this guy just makes the plays when they need to be made. You'll be like, damn it, I hate him. But it's like, but that's just it. That's the difference. That's why people think he's the best quarterback, because, like I said, he wins and he wins. So does
Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts wins too. So I mean, that's he wins. Yeah, Jalen Hurts wins as well.
Yeah, but Mahomes makes the plays when you need it, man. That's the thing. When you need it, he does it. That's it.
You play.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes this whole season.
Well,
like
I said, I am a Patrick Mahomes, but this season I just can't. I say no.
Well, let me ask you guys. If
he
bullseyes on the back right here.
he got snubbed from the Pro Bowl, so we'll see. He didn't even get a.
So that's saying something. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's saying something. He got snubbed.
That's saying, watch out for him in the playoffs. He's going to show everybody. He's going to be like, yeah, you'll see. Who's not Pro Bowl.
Like
Lions are carried by Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, shoot. I was watching that movie last night, too, with the kids.
I did, too.
And I have to say, then Shadows must be Kansas City then, right?
Yeah. Guys, if Mahomes does this thing, if Mahomes wins again, is he Tom Brady? Or can we put it to rest if Mahomes wins the Super Bowl this year? Can we put it to rest? The next
three-peat? I mean, Tom Brady didn't even do that. He's up there with him.
He's up there, but I don't think he's better.
I think so. I mean, I think he's different. I think he's different just than Brady. But I mean, I think he's in the conversation as definitely one of the top quarterbacks ever. I mean, he could be one. It could be, people will argue. They'll be like Joe Montana's one over Brady, even though Brady's one more. But but he'll be in that conversation, sure, especially when he goes retired.
Brett Favre, Ron. Yeah. We gave Ron a shot at your birthday, Trey. He still wouldn't roll it back. He still wouldn't roll it back. Man. All right, we still didn't get to a lot of stuff here, guys. Let's talk about
Black Monday.
Black Monday.
Yep,
Black Monday and predictions. So coaches that obviously some have been fired already. We talked about the Saints. We're probably going to talk about the Giants. They're talking about Vrabel's up there. He might get one of those jobs. I know. Any other surprise coaches, guys, you think might get fired?
I think Antonio Pierce. I feel bad for him, but I just feel like they're going to want to go to a different direction just with someone that's got a stronger resume. I feel like he could get fired. Daboll still question mark. I don't think Raheem Morris will get fired. I think he's too,
McCarthy?
That's going back and forth,
Yeah,
but
it sounds like right now Jerry's
the nail in the coffin was when Philly beat them last week, 41-7. I was like, yeah, you're done. I mean, 40. You only put up 7 points.
They're like, hell, we're just playing Trey Lance. Forget it.
Well, McCarthy did. I mean, Jermaine, McCarthy did slam down his surface. So.
He's.
But I mean, they had no CeeDee Lamb, right?
No CeeDee Lamb.
And then, I mean, at that point, and then the defense was playing inspired up until that game, but it's like there's not much talent as people thought with Dallas. I mean, everyone's like, Dallas has got all this loaded talent and stuff, and maybe they don't. So I don't know. I think McCarthy might come back one more season. I just feel like I don't know who else they're gonna get. No one seems like they're asking for that job.
Dion. Oh God.
Dion.
Well, Belichick's at college, so he's playing with his girlfriend on campus. So we can't have him.
Wait a minute. She goes to that school?
No, I'm just joking. That's her age, though. That's her age, man. You might as well. Man,
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. What about Dougie P, guys? We didn't talk about Doug Peterson.
I think he get fired.
He's fired.
Yeah.
I think he get fired. I think they would go a different direction. I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead, right?
No. Go ahead.
Right?
I was going to
say not really a head coach. But what you call it? I think Zach Taylor in Cincinnati might get looked at a little bit, but I definitely think his defensive coordinator is probably going to get replaced.
He's gone. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're talking about the owner for Cincinnati is so cheap. He don't want to pay money. Zach Taylor ain't going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Just like how Marvin Lewis didn't go. I kept fighting with Dre. I said, Marvin Lewis has got to go, man. What is he still doing here? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, they finally
they love Marvin Lewis, boy. They had him over for dinner and everything.
Man,
he was family.
So cheap. He don't want to.
He was family.
He don't want to. Yeah. I guess.
Mike Daniels on the hot seat, Miami.
I think Mike McDaniels is on the hot seat.
I'm gonna tell you who's on the hot seat, and if he don't win the Super Bowl or at least get there, is your boy McDermott. I mean, enough is enough, guys. Enough is enough. Come on, think about it.
I think Tomlin's on the hot seat. I think if they lose in the first round and this thing goes south, it's gonna be. I think if he wins a game, he's okay. But I think if Tomlin goes out in the first round, I think the Steelers.
They're struggling ever since who they played before the Eagles. That's when it started going downhill. I mean, they went on to lose the streak. So
Pickens looked disgusted. Pickens looked like he was so mad yesterday. He's like, I don't know what Russ is doing. He was like,
But Pickens dropped 3 passes. I mean,
he did.
This whole you can't talk trash and then sit there and not do your job when you're called upon. I mean,
I would say
he's been
this
a head
is Mike
case the whole season.
I would say this is Mike Tomlin's toughest season out of his career, I think.
Yeah, he was just throwing. Russ was just throwing to Fairmouth like the rest of the game, man. He was just like, I'm just gonna throw the tight end. He's like, I'm giving up on Pickens, man. So it'll be interesting.
Mike's gonna always have heat on him. It seems like that's why I want them to win because I just feel like he's a good coach. Just kind of gets a lot thrown at him, but I don't think he'll get fired. But he'll definitely be hearing a lot. But I think they made improvements. Like I think they finally got it figured out which direction they need to go. Now it's just about getting talent, like they got to get a real quarterback that's, they can build around. I think they need to get a better running back, a better running game. And then, just a couple more pieces on defenses just to make it beat them even better. And I think they'll be good.
All right. So I'm not going to do all the games this week, but obviously you guys know the big game this week. So we'll do one prediction on that game. So Detroit and Minnesota, guys, that's a big one tonight. This is really the last game of the season. They're saving the best one for last. All the other games kind of have some playoff implications, but like Carolina, Atlanta, only because like Atlanta is, still in it technically. Green Bay at Chicago for the same reason. I'm not going to get into all of them. KC at Denver, like those games we know are there, but you go from a 1 to 5 seed, you got 14 wins and you're going to be a 5th seed.
A 5th seed.
Wow.
14 wins. That's like
14 wins, a 5th seed.
Yeah. That is just, so we'll start with Dre. Dre, who do you like in that game, man?
So we're going around quickly. Minnesota, reason because either Campbell's going to lose in the first quarter by going for it or the fourth quarter by going for it. That's it. I'm convinced Minnesota is a complete team. I can't believe I'm saying that because of who Donald. Yeah, Minnesota.
All right, Mike.
I'm gonna go with Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they'll find a way to win.
All right, Jermaine.
Yeah, Minnesota. I mean, Detroit's just so banged up and whatnot. And you think, I mean, it's got to come to an end, and it's a shame that it didn't come earlier. But Detroit's they're just a mess. As far as being hurt and stuff. So Minnesota.
Especially on defense.
They really are. I mean, you can't do this. That's going to catch up to you eventually. You know what I mean? As you go, if you go deep in the playoffs, it's going to catch up to you, and it's going to catch up to you at the wrong time. So
what's happened is they switched a lot to man coverage because of, they can't really do a lot of zone because a lot of guys really don't know where to be at. So they're just kind of like, you go cover that guy. Well, if you go man coverage, Justin Jefferson,
good luck.
Addison,
good luck.
Sure.
You got to give it. You got to. To me, man, the whole season, for the coordinator Aaron Glenn, you got to give it that he's earning his check. I mean, he's doing everything he can possibly to keep that defense together. Right. And I see him as like the picture on the wall, the best coach. To me, man, he's got a lot, and with the pressure that Campbell puts on his offense too. You know what I mean? Keep going fourth down and all that stuff.
That's going to bite you. That's going to bite you.
Well, quick side note, that's the team that honestly could lose both coordinators to head coaching jobs next year.
Ben Johnson.
What will that do with that team? If Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson both take head coaching jobs, be curious to see if that team can, still maintain a high level.
That's how I felt
output.
about the Eagles. When the Eagles got rid of theirs.
You lose 2 coordinators at one time. It's tough to get over that, man.
Yeah, it is. We'll see how they do. I do think Minnesota. I agree with you guys. I do think this is Minnesota's game to lose. So I think they should win it. I think their defense is better than Detroit's, at least right now. And I agree, Mike. You brought it up. Like, yeah, Justin Jefferson and Addison. That's two really tough receivers.
Don't forget about the tight end too. He's back too, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah, T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah, Aaron Jones, who was pretty good.
Yeah, Aaron Jones, man.
Yeah. They got some weapons.
Is Madison still there? Who's the backup? Who's the backup Jones?
Backup? I don't know. No, Alexander is with the Raiders.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought they had a pretty good backup too.
We'll find out. It's going to be a great game tonight, regardless. I feel bad for the team that does lose and drops down to the 5th seed because you can't do better than 14 wins. I mean, Jesus. I mean,
you're right.
You're getting the short end of the stick there, but
big time.
Hey, it's the NFL.
But at least, I mean, if you go, let's say you go to the 5th seed, but look, you're going to play probably the Bucks or the Rams. So it's not like at least going into like a hateful game that, you're on the road, but at least you're playing a game that you probably can win. So it ain't it's not the end of the world.
But you gotta go to Philadelphia or Detroit. You eventually gotta, or whoever wins. If Minnesota wins, you gotta go to Minnesota. So so if for the Eagles' sake, it's better, obviously, if they don't want to go to Detroit, obviously, or Minnesota. So either way, the Eagles would have a tough championship game if Detroit or Minnesota gets that far. But we'll see what happens, man. Woo! It's going to be interesting. And that's that. I think we'll just cut it at that game today because the other ones, like I said, we could talk about the scrub games like San Fran and Arizona. Super Bowl. But does that even matter? Like,
this would be a discount week, man. This is NFL's giving away tickets because you got so many teams playing backups. I mean, I'd be disgusted to go to a game right now and see, none of the starters. Denver's finally a team playing starters, and that's only because they have to win. Everybody else is like, don't matter.
Yeah, Bo Nix, Jermaine. Bo Nix. People said his game wouldn't translate into the NFL. We'll see. Bo Nix.
Sean Payton found his quarterback. Could be the next Drew Brees. Who knows?
Who knows?
Sean Payton got him going in the right direction. That's for sure.
All right. Well, if you love our podcast, we appreciate you checking us out. You can always subscribe to us to get our latest shows and when you want to watch us and when the shows are actually on. So check us out. Dre's posting some new shorts as well. So if you see them online, you can email Jermaine at enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com. Make sure you get his messages in there on his rant today. Let us know what you think about his rant. YouTube channel, Enough Said, of course. All of our major social media handles are always Enough Said. So you can check us out on Twitter, Instagram. Although Instagram did not work today, I don't know what's going on. We still have problems with Instagram.
We have Twitch too running. So
we got Twitch running today, so all good there. So check us out. We appreciate all of our followers, and as always, we appreciate all the listeners like Have Streams Media. They have great following coming out now, Climbback series. So make sure you check that out. In addition to the All Dressed Up podcast, they had a great show before the end of the year. So they had a wonderful show last week. So give them some love too on their channel. And have a great week, everybody. Enjoy the games, the playoffs. They're going to start next week. Enjoy watching the scrubs today for most of the games. It's not going to be an entertaining one except for tonight.
Today is the day to do your chores, right?
Yeah.
Take a nap.
Housework.
Go get your food. The snowstorm.
Yeah.
Because next week is playoffs. You got to watch at least one playoff game on Amazon. I think another one on.
Oh my God!
Here we go.
Get
your Cody guys, but that's where it's going.
Yeah, that's where it's going.
Get your jailbreak fire stick ready.
Oh my God. It's awful. All right. We will see you next week, everybody, for some playoff talk. All right.
All right.
Later.